who are engaged in nuclear negotiation. It's done openly. The whole world gets to see who they are meeting.
We have all the details, and later also road to 2020. Opposition NDC completes vetting of all 7 presidential hopefuls in what is said to be a tough contest to recapture power.
I have sailed. It's not I will sail to. I have sailed, and come 23rd, inshallah, I am winning.
I'm in very high spirits because I have greatly improved on their understanding.
It was very pleasant, very constructive, very detailed as well.
And in business, we'll be exploring the implications on the local economy following the reopening of the Obuasi mine site.
Coming up later in sports, new Barcelona signing Kevin Prince Boateng could make his debut on Wednesday against Sevilla. Plus, we'll get the latest on the Premier League footballer Emiliano Sala, who was on a light aircraft which went missing over the Channel Islands.
And later on, we're building up to the JoyFM Open Mic on Friday. We have all the details here on Newsnight. You may want to join us with your thoughts and comments via WhatsApp. It's 0244340437. I am MFA Paul.
And my name is Evans Mensa. We have details of all those stories and more after the break. Stay with us.
It's time to experience something different, unexpected, and definitely beyond banking. It's a new era at GCB Bank, Ghana's most welcoming bank, where we offer you a world of financial security, flexibility, and convenience. We swiftly serve you with over 180 branches and 300 ATMs, and provide e-banking solutions that make it possible for you to bank anywhere, anytime. When you need a personal loan, sooner is better than later, so we give it to you in 24 hours to make sure the experience is always memorable. At GCB, your opportunities are limitless and we keep you smiling at all times. We're bigger and better, ready to take you beyond banking. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
It's the year of the car owner with Enterprise Insurance. Hooray! Just dial *714*556#. Choose update your details, follow the prompts, and voila! You are in for surprises that will make your head swell big. Surprises like mobile data, useful car insurance tips, and many more. Remember, updating your details even helps to speed up the claims process. Car owner, this is your year. Insure with Enterprise. Dial *714*556# and update your details now.
Enterprise, your advantage.
Trusted, innovative financial services, providing knowledge and support and solutions. Customer-oriented, superior services, your success our passion. Trusted, innovative financial services, providing knowledge and support and solutions. Customer-oriented, superior services, your success our passion. 10 good years of loyalty, service with integrity, protective of our guardian brand. 10 years of excellence, 10 years of loyalty, your success our passion. Oh yeah, your success our passion.
Your success, our passion.
Hello, I say, how did now? Vodafone normal 10 megabyte free data. It will call Smart Rubiadron. Share.
Hello, have you heard that Vodafone is giving 10 megabyte free data for every minute you talk? You just dial 50/50.
Yeah, hello. Aha! Right now, with the Vodafone people, just they can call plenty. Second of us, you talk 1 minute, you go get 10 megabytes. You talk 2 minutes, you go get 20 megabytes. 3 minutes.
Call Vodafone or any network and get 10 megabytes of free data every minute you talk. It's simple. Talk to browse. The more you talk, the more data you get. Dial 50/50 to subscribe. Talk more, browse more. Terms and conditions apply.
The future is exciting. Ready?
Nationwide Medical Insurance, the leader in private health insurance, has deployed superior technology to make your healthcare experience more convenient and exciting. With the Nationwide mobile app, you can order your prescription drugs and we will deliver to your doorsteps. With over 600 dependable healthcare service providers, you're just a step away locating your service provider of choice and accessing hospital claim information in real time. Our corporate clients are guaranteed timely corporate utilization reports. We provide on-site clinics to give employees access to healthcare in the comfort of their offices. Enjoy these amazing benefits and so much more by signing on to Nationwide Medical Insurance today. Call us on toll-free number 0800-222222 or visit our website www.nationwidemh.com. Nationwide Medical Insurance. Join the healthcare family.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Thanks for staying with us here on Newsnight. Let's head to Obuasi because there's joy on the streets, and the reason is simple. The once vibrant Obuasi mine, reputed to be the third largest in the world, is back in operation. Some few hours ago, President Akufo-Addo, assisted by the Asantehene Otumfuose II, and management of Anglo Gold Ashanti, lifted the veil for work to start.
Well, if you recall, the mine was shut in 2014 after witnessing continuous loss of revenue resulting from low investment and high cost to run the facility after a series of meetings between government, management of the mine, and initial investment of $881 million was invested back into the mine, and it's set to produce gold by the end of the year. In fact, many workers lost their jobs. The town became a ghost town as a result of the shutdown. Now, listen to the managing director of Anglo Gold Ashanti, Eric Asubonting.
We can smile today because we were determined to overcome the numerous challenges that came our way. I would, at this juncture, like to acknowledge the enormous assistance the government of Ghana, under the able leadership of President Akufo-Addo, has given to us. In 2014, following losses made by the mine for so many years, a strategic decision was taken to put the mine in a limited operating phase, whilst a feasibility study was conducted to consider the options for redevelopment of the mine. This period was marked by a painful mass retrenchment, although some employees were re-engaged to further the work of the mine during the limited operating phase. In 2017, following the conclusion of the feasibility study, the company began discussions with government to support the redevelopment of the Obuasi mine by providing certain fiscal and regulatory assurances in order to make the redevelopment project viable. These were granted and duly approved by Parliament in 2018. The necessary environmental permits were also granted. With the support of government, who have sought to create an enabling business-friendly environment for a sustainable and successful operation, here we are today. We are today witnessing a new beginning of the Obuasi mine, which continues to remain the pride of our country. Indeed, the redevelopment of the Obuasi mine demonstrates Anglo Gold Ashanti's long-term commitment to its presence and operations in Ghana.
So, Evans, you heard that the managing director of Anglo Gold Ashanti, Eric Asubontim. Now, before the mine was shut down in 2014, its concessions witnessed occasional encroachment by illegal miners. One of such resulted in the death of its director of communications, I'm sure you recall, John Owusu, after a confrontation between security forces and illegal miners.
Yeah, and there was today the Asantehene was at this particular event, Asantehene Otumfuose II, and he wants government to ensure protection of staff and the mine, obviously drawing from the lesson of the death of John Owusu.
The jewel in the crown of this nation's economy and arguably the richest single gold mine in the world. Zoom. Economic historians will attest to the fact that for many decades before and after independence, this was the single most important enterprise in the economy. Indeed, from the resources of Obuasi and in combination with our timber and cocoa, Ashanti provided more than half the gross domestic product of the country at one time in our history. Zoom. As we discover new resources and strive for the equitable and balanced development of the whole nation, I think it is fair never to forget the debt we owe to Obuasi and to Asante Mine for the solid foundations laid for the economic well-being of our United Republic. But even more important, it is important to remind ourselves that our resources are not exhausted, and Ashanti remains the potent factor in the quest for a stronger and more vibrant modern economy. The redevelopment program we are launching today has huge implications for the future of our nation. It should be an important signal to the world that the climate for doing business has never been brighter. And it should instill further confidence in our people that the promise of a stronger, more vibrant economy, providing more jobs for the people, is being realized. But we should not be lured into a premature sense of security. For the challenges of the past have not gone away, and we should expect even more challenges as we move forward. Top of the challenges is the bugbear of security. The states had made a solemn commitment to provide a secure environment in which the investors will conduct their business. It is our bounden duty to honor this commitment to the full, and I entrust to Nananum of Adansi and Amansia the sacred duty of ensuring collective collaboration with the company and with the security agencies of the state to ensure the maximum protection of the man and all his assets.
You heard there the Asante Heneo's Tumfo say to the second. We can now hear from President Akufo-Addo, who is assured his government will continue to lead the way in revamping economically vibrant industries to ensure creation of jobs and economic growth.
This once vibrant town, I'm certain, will be brought back to life again, and we can expect an improvement in the living circumstances of its residents. Additionally, government is expected to rake in some 2.16 billion United States dollars in revenue over the next 22 years in royalties and corporate and withholding taxes. I assure management and staff of the mine that the sequence of events that led to the closure of the mine will not reoccur under the watch of this government. The days of forceful encroachment on the concession of the company, as witnessed between 2010 and 2016, are over. Under this government, the rule of law works, and the company can look forward to a safe and secure working environment. I'm fully persuaded that all stakeholders, particularly residents of the town, have learned their lessons from the recent unfortunate past. Nanano, ladies and gentlemen, you will all agree with me that the time has come for Obuasi to reflect the fact that it hosts the richest gold mine in our country and one of the richest in the world. The distressed state of this town is nothing short of a disgrace, and we must work to change the situation.
You heard that, President Akufo-Addo. Let's go live to Obuasi. We are told that there's excitement on the streets there. Latif Idris is with the team and joins us on the line. So, Latif, exactly how many jobs will be created with the commencement of work at the Ashanti Gold?
Okay, thank you, MFA. So, once work starts at the Anglo Gold Ashanti here in Obuasi, it is expected that some 2,500 jobs will be created at the mining company, which has been defunct since 2014 through to 2016. Now, today, MFA, the president's credibility went a notch higher in the eyes of the people of Obuasi and, by extension, the country. Because if you remember, way back in the electioneering years, the president, on one of his campaign trips, mentioned to the people of Obuasi that if they give him the mandate, he will ensure that Anglo Gold Ashanti comes back to stream. Now today, what he has done is to cement that credibility. The people were full of joy and jubilation when the president arrived to reopen the Anglo Gold Ashanti Mining Company. And throughout the street, on the streets of Obuasi, even though they have been complaining about the nature of their roads, today they put that in the back burner trooped at the cricket park at the premises of Anglo Gold Ashanti to cheer the president up for what they say would change the economic fiber of the Obuasi enclave.
I think Obuasi will rejuvenate. Obuasi is coming back. Obuasi is awakening with the coming back of Anglo Gold Ashanti. And this is what we, the natives in Obuasi, are expecting. We think this is the time they give a lot of the natives in Obuasi the opportunity to work with the company. That is what we are expecting for now.
So as an individual, are you also looking forward to being recruited?
Yes.
Do you have what it takes to be in this field?
Yes. Yes, I have that qualification.
What does it also mean to the local economy?
I think all the economic activities, the trading, selling and buying, everything will be working into perfection for now. I think everyone, whatever everyone is doing in Obuasi, in economic perspective, it will do very well for them. Master, some of us who have stayed here for a number of years, we got to see that as they closed down Anglo Gold Ashanti, the whole Obuasi was down. The economic activity as to buying and selling and other activities were down. Even if you are selling, it became too difficult for people to patronize your business or whatever we were doing in Obuasi.
Moreover, we affect the men because our wives are suffering. All the time we're going to market to sell the house. The children going to school, secondary school, tertiary schools, all because their money are not working. Because their money are getting used.
So, Lassie, we had obviously excited residents in Obuasi, but we know that the official launch is today. When exactly will we start seeing gold production at the Ashanti Gold? Okay, so it looks like we've just lost Latif Idris on the line, but there's general excitement there in Obuasi.
However, in the wake of the shutdown in 2014, recall the entire Obuasi township became a ghost town. There were civil society complaining. There was a lot of criticism and analysis done to show that over the years the mining hasn't really robbed off the economy of the town there. And it begs the question whether now that it's been reopened, what lessons have we learned from that experience, so that if the gold in the ground gets exhausted again, we don't get back to the point where we are talking about, well, we haven't benefited as much as we should, particularly in Obuasi town. Let's bring in Hannah Cranting. Madam Hannah Cranting is with the civil society group WACAM. They've been working with communities as far as mining is concerned and its impact. Madam Cranting, thank you for your time here on Newsnight.
Thank you for having me on the program.
There's a lot of excitement in Obuasi tonight, but just a few years ago, we recall having conversations about not seeing enough in terms of the benefits to the community. It became a ghost town. Everybody abandoned it. Life is back now, but I'm wondering whether the lessons have been learned.
Well, thank you. That's the question that we all need to ask, whether we have learned any lessons at all. But yes, mining and the phases of mining are just what we are seeing. Once there's a boom, everybody is drifting to the place. And if there's a bust, then you have the ghost towns and all that. But then, Obuasi had a history of a lot of violations and things like that. So I'm hoping that once they are reopening the mine, it will be reopened with a new phase, a new life where community rights will be respected. And so we wouldn't have the many complaints that we had in the past, where some people lost their lives because of mining, some people were maimed, and people were just pushed off their properties without the payment of the appropriate compensations, and the water bodies that were polluted, and all those problems that we had.
And most importantly also, we know gold is a finite resource. It will finish again. And the mine, might go again. The question is, what long-term plan should government, apart from celebrating and drumming and dancing, etc., and launching, be putting in now to make sure that by the time that the gold is exhausted again, Obuasi is properly developed. There's a proper rub-off, a tangible benefit that the community people can hold on to and not become returned to a ghost town it became in 2014.
Well, for instance, we need to start thinking of how we do an environmental quality assessment of Obuasi. And what I'm saying is applicable to all mining areas. The environmental quality analysis is very important. It's very crucial because these are the legacy problems that we encounter when mines fold up. Again, Ghana needs to review its fiscal regime and make mining more beneficial to the state. For instance, if we go through the Minerals and Mining Act that we operate with, a lot of incentives and super incentives are granted to the companies to the detriment of the states. So that's why at the end of the day, when we post monies and do the reconciliation, mining contribution to the GDP in those countries. So we need to look critically about the fiscal regime and also about the environmental laws and what have you, so that the legacy problems will be minimized. Now we have an advantage because government has already ratified various protocols, which include the free prior informed consent, the polluter pays principles, and all that. So instead of just asking companies to pay bonds, post bonds, to use when they default in the environmental cleanliness, we need to institutionalize the polluter pays principle, where when companies pollute, they clean the mess at the cost, prevailing market cost, not to be externalized to society. Again, we should also look at the various interests on the land. You see, once you have an activity that is land-based, you should also recognize that other people are also engaged in economic activities on the land. And all these are investments. If the person is a farmer or whatever that is based on the land should be available for everybody to use. So then we're talking about proper demarcation of the land, so that we wouldn't have mining taking over the country to the detriment of all other activities that we have on the land.
And I'm really grateful that you join us with those perspectives, and hopefully this time things will be done differently. Listening to News 9 on Joy 99.7 FM, Madam Hannah Cranting is with the Civil Society Group, WACAM, speaking to us there.
So let's stay on some gold-related issues, I'm sure.
This time men's gold,
This time men's gold. Because it's been 3 weeks now since a warrant was issued for the arrest, alive or dead. One of the key persons with the biggest part of the missing puzzle, Nana Appiah Mensah, was then found to have been arrested in Dubai almost a month before the Ghanaian authorities thought of looking for him. Now, a delegation led by the Deputy Attorney General jetted off to Dubai to trigger an extradition process, though it was a mission impossible considering the fact that Ghana does not have an extradition treaty with the United Arab Emirates.
And that was a big challenge. The Ghana Police Service, in a joint statement with Economic and Organized Crimes Officer Yoko, revealed last Friday, that Namwan is facing misdemeanor charges in Dubai and will be made available to Ghana after the final determination of the case on Saturday, February 2nd. But it is emerging that the case may be heard on 3rd or 4th of February instead of what the communication sought to portray. The minorities tonight punching holes in the account of the delegation, questioning why the delegation has not been able to inform Ghanaians which UAE government official they met with. We'll hear from them shortly. But first, here's a wrap-up event since the warrant for Nana Appiah Mensah, Benedict Appiah, and Rose Tete were issued. This is a breaking news that we are getting. We got confirmation that as we speak, literally, a warrant to arrest Namwan has now been issued.
It was the biggest announcement made, and perhaps some good news for customers of the gold dealership firm who were calling for the arrest of Nana Appiah Mensah.
Namwan is not above the law. If he's doing something that is not good, that's to arrest him and bring him.
The Circuit Court, which issued the warrant for the arrest of the CEO of the gold dealership firm, said Namwan was wanted for defrauding by false pretense and also for money laundering.
We are aware that Nana Appiah Mensah is not in Ghana. So we have started the process of letting Interpol put him in the red note.
But he wasn't the only one. There were also warrants for the arrest of his wife, Rose Tete, and Benedicta Appiah, said to be his sister.
You are here of the president forthwith to apprehend the said Rose Tete. There is a third individual. The name here is Benedicta Appiah, the sister of Nana Appiah Mensah. Again, the charge is defrauding by false pretense.
A statement issued by the Ghana Police Service on Monday, the 14th of January 2019, revealed Nam1 was arrested on December 7 by Emirati officials in connection with a gold deal that went bad in that jurisdiction.
Ghanaian officials have visited Nam1 in the custody of Dubai police, and the fifth point is that engagement with Dubai authorities on the next steps have commenced, and the police administration assures the public that due process will be followed.
This information quickly led to government sending out a delegation to Dubai to press for the extradition of CEO of Nuance Gold, Nana Appiah Mensah. But Justice Sremsai predicted it was going to be difficult to get Nam1 back to Ghana, as the country did not have an extradition treaty with the UAE.
If the bail conditions there do not allow him to leave Dubai until the matter for which he has been arrested is fully determined, what that also means is that, effective of whatever request Ghana may make to United Arab Emirates, we may not have him here in Ghana, and unless they are through with that process.
Indeed, the delegation returned to Ghana without Nam1. In an explanation provided in a joint statement by the Ghana Police Service and IYOCO, Nana Appiah Mensah is currently facing misdemeanor charges in Dubai, after which he will be brought to Ghana if he is cleared of all charges leveled against him. The court hearing, which is set to be held on February 2nd, 2019, a Saturday. Though the date has been questioned, a critical issue raised is where are the other two directors of the company who are also wanted by the police.
So that search is still on, and we are told, informed by our sources within the Ghana Police Service, that there will be a press conference on Thursday to address all these issues, to bring Ghanaians up to speed on where we are with this matter. But let's speak to Ranking Member on the Foreign Affairs Committee of Parliament, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa. They are raising some concerns about the moves made so far by the government delegation that went to Dubai. We're grateful for your time here on Newsnight. So you're almost belittling the entire move so far. You're actually likening it to breaking the box office if it were a movie. What do you know that we do not know?
Yeah, good evening, MF, and good evening to all your distinguished listeners. I mean, these are matters that continue to really baffle all of us. And we in the minority are deeply concerned that government continues to blunder, government continues to be cagey, government is not forthcoming with information. I mean, if you look at what's happening now, government announced that they are sending a high-profile delegation to Dubai to negotiate with their counterparts, with government officials in the UAE. You have returned several days after, and we do not know which government officials you met. I mean, this is so strange. This doesn't happen anywhere. The principles of transparency, accountability, good governance. We ought to know who you met on the other side. We do not know. So if it was just about going to take a statement from Nam1 in the Dubai cells, we have a full mission in Dubai, headed by the respected Excellency Alhaji Ahmed Ramadan. Full mission. They could have taken that statement. You told us that you were going to explore diplomatic channels, and there is nothing secret about going to meet your counterparts on the other side. We should know. Even the denuclearization talks on the Korean Peninsula, we know who are those meetings. President Trump, the Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un, and others, the other ministers, Pompeo and others who engage in the talks. We know. I mean, nobody is asking even for the details, the fine details of the negotiations. But we need to know. You need to brief the country. That is not happening. Then you put out a statement about a court date, which happens to be a hoax. Dubai courts do not sit on Fridays and Saturdays. Now the GNA is reporting different dates from government sources, saying 3rd or 4th. I mean, it's a whole blunder. And if you consider the fact that this is a gentleman who has outwitted the entire national security apparatus, jumped bail, left the jurisdiction of this country, had been arrested for more than a month. The entire national security apparatus, National Security Council, chaired by the president, did not know. At the time they were triggering search warrants by Interpol and all of that. The man had been arrested more than a month. So you see, Ghanaians are not impressed about government conduct and handling of this matter so far. And that is why we in the minority insist that if you look at the clear complicity and ineptitude and the shambolic approach so far in getting to the bottom of this matter, we need an inquiry into this whole affair.
This is a call you've made before, Mr. Ablakwa, but as a ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee, beyond the public lamentations about the lack of information, what are you prepared to do to get with the information that you want?
Parliament will be returning from recess on the 29th. That's just next week. And we have served notice that we will be initiating processes in Parliament to push for an inquiry into this matter. And we are hoping that our good friends on the majority side will see reason. Look, human lives are at stake. People's life savings. We are talking about the impact on the financial sector. I mean, we cannot be joking with matters like this. I mean, the entire national security apparatus of our country appear to have been dribbled by one man. I mean, how do we look in the Committee of Nations? Our image is at stake. What are the future implications for things like these? Are very serious matters, and government continues to blunder every day. And there's a lot of opacity, lack of transparency. There's no forthrightness. It's mind-boggling, MFA.
We're grateful for your time, Mr. Okudzeto Ablakwa. We leave it here. He's a ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee of Parliament. You're still listening to Newsnight here on Joy 99.7 FM. Your thoughts, your comments are welcome. It's via WhatsApp on 0244340437. Still to come, the road to 2020 is on.
Of course, it's on, and the opposition NDC completes vetting of all 7 presidential hopefuls in what is set to be a tough contest to recapture power.
I have sailed. It's not I will sail through. I have sailed, and come 28, inshallah, I am winning.
I'm in very high spirits because I have greatly improved on their understanding.
It was very pleasant, very constructive, very detailed as well.
Well, we have details after business, George.
Hi, Evans and the Energy Ministry is to award the auction oil blocks to winners in August this year after settling on 14 oil companies for the next round of scrutiny. And we explore implications on the local economy as the Obuasi mine reopens after 4 years of limited shutdown. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one-stop shop for all your office essentials. And First National Bank, we are the bank that understands your business. First National Bank, how can we help you?
Hello and welcome to the MTN Weather Report. Joe, we know say January dear if you are a better month, but with MTN, sea never dry. Now the details of my weather report. 15,000 cities go blow from the intertropical boundaries across the country. Rhyming in it. We can also see a mist of fog patches of 25,000 cities and a heavy monetary downpour of 30,000 cities. A move to treat the dry season across the country. Now, ladies and gentlemen, everywhere you go, whether it be school fees or akesisem fees, we there for you. Rent advance, salary advance, your sortie advance, because with MTN, we're there for you. And Joe, keep talking, browsing, texting, and transact more with Momo and win instant prizes each month. Now, Kushin will new year in the MTN More For You promo. And dial *120#. Now check your points. We're there for you everywhere you go. Do the dance. Do the dance.
Nothing but the best, we stay above the rest. More quality, more affordability. Kingdom Books and Stationery. Everybody's going to the one and only shop where customer satisfaction is a guarantee. Kingdom Books and Stationery.
Oh
Yes, with our 30 days credit facility with no interest charge, free delivery services, and our free consultation on setting up your office, Kingdom Books and Stationery is unmatched in our delivery of quality and affordable office essentials, equipment, and furniture.
Experience world-class customer service in all our branches in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Cape Coast, and Takoradi.
Call us on 0302-764-101
or visit our website at www.kingdomgh.com.
Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one stop shop for all office essentials and stationery. Terms and conditions apply.
Let us help you bank with the right bank. At First National Bank, we're more than just a bank. We're a digital partner that actually understands your business. Enjoy massive value with our various banking solutions. Get a business check account, a day-to-day transactional account for all businesses from all sectors of the economy. Access our online banking enterprise and bank your way 24/7. Invest with our short or long-term options that enable immediate access to funds. Optimize your cash flow, raise capital, and acquire assets with ease with our lending solutions. Trade with speed, consistency, and innovation with our global payments and forex solutions. With so much value up for grabs, there is no reason not to bank with First National Bank. First National Bank. How can we help you?
Joy 99.7 FM.
You welcome back to Business on the News Now. Now, the Energy Ministry says it would announce the winners for the auction oil blocks in August this year. Now, this was after 14 oil companies were shortlisted for the next oil bid round in May before that final auction. Nana Damoa speaks for the Energy Ministry.
Bid itself, which is on May 21st. The bids will close, and then we would have to go into evaluation of the bids that we have received. After the evaluation, we will announce companies that have been successful, and then thereafter we would go into negotiation for the particular terms of the award of the blocks.
Do I get from you that for these 14 companies that have been pre-qualified, you will do another shortlisting again?
What will happen is that after the 21st of May, which is the deadline, and the evaluation of the bids that we would have, we will then go forward to shortlist further and let you know which companies have been successful in bidding for the particular blocks. As I speak to you, we have written to all the companies that have been successfully pre-qualified, and they have been given an evaluation criteria, and they've also been given the scorecard. And so each company is aware of how their bids are going to be evaluated.
Another one speaks for the Energy Ministry. Oil giants like British Petroleum and Tullow are all in competition to be actually selected as one of the companies that would actually manage one of those oil blocks. Now, the Obuasi mine has finally reopened for gold exploratory activities on the mine and concession. Now, this was after President Akufo-Addo launched the redevelopment of the Obuasi mine site. So, why are people in that area so excited? And what are the impact of this action on their lives? There's more in this report.
For those in the area, the resumption of the mine is a dream come true. Some residents have often argued that mining is Obuasi and Obuasi is mining. This is because the mining in that area brought about other related activities like trading, construction activities, and other businesses that were rendering direct services to the mine site, which increased economic activity in the area and also helped improve the fortunes of those in Obuasi. Some of the residents have also expressed excitement about the arrangement that would ensure the majority of the jobs there would go to locals. At the national level, the amount of gold that will be produced from the mining site would impact on gold revenue, as well as export earnings, which would impact on forex secured, a development that could impact on the city's stability.
And that was a Business Desk report. Let's do some banking stories. And Stanbic Bank says it plans to leverage on the customers of Baroda to help grow its earnings for this year. Now, this was after it assumed the assets of Baroda following the decision to move out of Ghana due to a review in the operations around the world. Now, the bank, Baroda, is said to have over 4,000 customers on its books, and that could actually have an impact on Stanbic Bank. We also understand that they also posted a profit of 25 million Ghana cedis for last year. Let's hear Larson Andani, he's managing director of Stanbic Bank.
So it just means that our share of their business wallet will increase, and we would throw everything. It would be a shame if Baroda were to come back 2 years, just a friendly visit to ask Sandani what has happened to our friends that we left with you, and I showed them numbers less than what they handed over to me. That would be terrible. So we would do whatever we can to delight those customers. You know, we have much more expanded services which they were enjoying with other banks. So we can give them a one-stop shop sort of for everything, and hopefully
then they would impact on your bottom.
It should. I mean, if you sit and you have deposits close to 150 million Ghana cedis coming through, that banks are deposits. So that's what we have. So straight away, from January on, we're going to see an impact on our business, positive impact on our business.
Alhassan Andani is Managing Director of Stanbic Bank. Now, the special company set up to recapitalize some local banks, that is the Ghana Amalgamated Trust, will now focus on fast-tracking the process to actually put in place the required personnel to run the company. Now, this was after they formally appointed renowned banker Albert Essien and former investment banker of Goldman Sachs, Eric Nonotu, as the managing director. The trust we now understand that will focus on also raising the funds for these local banks. That will be through the issuance of bonds and also targeting some private pension fund managers. And that's all for Business on Newsnight.
Thank you very much, George. Let's take some of your comments that you've sent via WhatsApp. This one from Bliss in Dakuman says, Evans, the policeman talking should stop this colludings and reason with technology. Master, we are fed up with them, with their slow pace of responsiveness. And this one also says, Masa, it's not only the man who is not satisfied. It's not only the man that is not satisfied. Ghana is not satisfied with what the police is doing. The police should stop hiding behind this. They won't let the public know what's going on and give information. And this one says, I'm not only shocked at the inept and gross incompetence displayed by the police, I'm flabbergasted by the fact that the police commander is still at post. The family of the victims are doing the work of the police, while some police officers go around shooting innocent citizens. And this one also says the police commander there is not being professional. He seems to be throwing his hands in despair. As a retired investigator myself, I know in the rudiments of investigation, the cardinal principle is every criminal leaves a trail. The police must get the trail and follow that trail. Efo Kofi in Tema. And the final one from Panic in Adenta says, can we ask the Nigerian community in Ghana to help? Can we ask a therapist to hypnotize the suspects? Some key questions.
I guess we can't take anything off the table tonight. Let's do some politics, NDC politics to be very specific, because the party, they've completed the vetting of all 7 aspirants, including former President John Mahama, ahead of next month's presidential primaries. Now, joining sources say policies, visions and ideas espoused by each candidate were thoroughly scrutinized by members of the vetting committee and how they intend to execute them if they get a nod to lead the party. Now, second Deputy Speaker of Parliament, who first appeared before the committee, believes he wowed the committee with his ideas.
The questions were meant to elicit the best from the candidate. And so they asked questions from archaeology to zoology, where from their facial expressions and from the body language, including the nodding of heads, I think that I was giving thumbs up. At the end of the day, they were, for me, just flying. I'm always flying. That's why I'm the first. So I'm in very high spirits because I have greatly improved on their understanding.
Then came the former Vice Chancellor of the University of Professional Studies, UPSC, Professor Joshua Alabi. He's also convinced he will sail through the process and now ready to win the election.
I enjoyed every bit of the discussion there. I'm happy that we have a very solid team there to walk us through the process and to build us. But the most important is for you to also to be on top of what you want to do. And I'm here to tell you that it was excellent.
I'm quite curious because you spent almost an hour in there. Were you being grilled or something?
It is their duty to make sure that they get the right person to lead the party. Okay. So they have to ask every question that they think they are not comfortable with. And they asked and had the answers and they were satisfied.
So what question were they not comfortable with?
The question about your life, ranging from when you started school and what you've been doing with your life and the party, and some questions as to how you want to run the country. These are all very important. We went through them, and at the end of it, it went very, very well. I'm also sure from the way it went and the way we're all smiling that we were also very happy with the answers that I gave.
So you think that we sailed through successfully?
I have sailed through. I have sailed through. It's not I will sail through. I have sailed through. And come 23rd, inshallah, I am winning.
You know, one of the aspirants whose vetting was very anticipated was Guzitano, because he once broke away from the party, formed his own party, contested in the elections in which the NDC also stood, and many said, well, his being in the race caused the party, did some damage, and guess what? It came up in the vetting when he appeared before the committee, but he says that shouldn't serve as a basis to disqualify him.
It was very pleasant, very constructive, very detailed as well.
Detailed as in how? Were you grilled?
Well, I mean, the points about our Team Guzi's vision for the country, what are the areas that we would emphasize, my own history and involvement with the party. The reform issue naturally came up. Also, just the prospects for our party going forward, 2020, and of course, a very strong desire for unity.
So with the reform issue, were you convinced that they really appreciated your position on the matter?
I think so. I think that wherever we've been to around the country, we've explained the basis of the reform as something that was designed to strengthen the party and ensure that the party is faithful to its founding principles. I think that has gone down very well, and today I believe that some of those we were speaking to were reformers within the NDC, so they fully understood what we're talking about. I think their own concern is why go out and reform from outside. I believe that conversation is going to be a conversation that will continue for many years.
Because some say it should be grounds for your disqualification as far as this process is concerned.
I don't think so.
So you have Guzitano, so Professor Joshua Alabi, former President John Dramani Mahama, Ecospio Gabra, Nuruddin Idrisu, and then Sylvester Mensah. They all went through, plus Alban Sumana, Kingsford Badming. Now, a member of the vetting committee, James Kluchi-Aveji, says the committee will submit their report to the FEC, that's the Functional Executive Committee of the party, tomorrow.
Oh, the process has been very smooth. We have programmed ourselves to deal with all the aspirants. We'll be able to finish, and we are now preparing our reports. We'll finish the report and submit the report to FEC. So basically, the process has been very smooth.
So when are you submitting the report?
Tomorrow.
We do understand that you scrutinize the policies and the ideas put together by each candidate. Would you say, as a member of the committee, you were really satisfied by their ideologies and expositions given to each of them?
That will come tomorrow in our report.
No, but of course,
I'm a member of the report, so if I should come up with anything now, I'll be jumping the gun. So let's wait for the committee position to come out tomorrow.
But would you say they were inspiring?
All of them.
You have no doubt in your mind that whoever becomes the flag bearer of the party will definitely...
Of course, because those were the basic things that we look at, whether the person qualified by our Article 94 of the Constitution. So whoever we recommend as having qualified to contest, that person will be the choice of the party.
So you have the member of the vetting committee, James Kluchi-Aveji, speaking to Parker Wilson. It's time now for sports. Hans Mensah is here.
Yep, MFR now in sports. New Barca signing Kevin Prince Boateng could make his debut on Wednesday when Barca take on Sevilla in a Copa del Rey fixture. Boateng, who has signed a loan deal with the Catalan Giants, was officially unveiled earlier today to the fans and the media. The Ghana international made Italian side Sassuolo his 9th club on a free transfer last year, and Barca have the option to sign the 31-year-old for £7.1 million in the summer. To another missing person, and this time has to do with Premier League footballer Emiliano Sala, who was on a light aircraft which went missing over the Channel Islands. The £15 million rated Argentine striker was one of 2 people on board the Piper Malibu, which lost contact of the Alderney in the Channel Islands on Monday night. Cardiff City, which signed Salah from French club Nantes in a record deal on Saturday, said it was, quote, very shocked. And Guernsey police said there was no trace of the Cardiff-bound flight and has suspended the search for the night. Update from the Australian Open then, and second seed Rafael Nadal eased past unseeded American Francis Tiafoe to reach the Australian Open semi-finals and continue in his bid to win all 4 Grand Slams for a second time. The 32-year-old Spaniard cracked 29 winners in a 6-3, 6-4, 6-2 victory. That's your sports.
Thank you very much, Hans Mensah Andor. Let's turn our attention to mining once again, because as part of efforts to fight illegal mining in Ghana, government has put a number of illegal miners through a special training program.
Well, the miners were exposed to the dangers associated with illegal mining and the serious destruction caused to forest and water bodies. Now, this is one of the highlights of the Johnny's documentary titled Mercury Effect, a story shining a light on the health impact of illegal mining. So Kwame Boateng spoke to some miners at the University of Mines and Technology at Takwa in the Western region.
Issa Musa is a miner from the eastern region of Ghana who is not sure what his health status is because of the many years for which he has used mercury and other chemicals. He has started learning more about it.
I've learned what mercury is. I've been hearing the effects, but I've known from the studies that most of the things that we do, the way we extract the gold, it is not healthy. So I've been taught how to handle mercury, how to extract.
Sadly, many miners like Issa Musa stand a higher risk of developing serious health conditions because of his exposure to chemicals like mercury. At the University of Mines and Technology in Takwa, the Dean of the Faculty of Mineral Resources Technology, Professor Richard Kwesiamankwa, who has done a lot of research on this, explains what makes it more serious.
Mercury is applied after they get the gold concentrate. You get the gold concentrate, the small scale miner will say we are adding lead. So they add the lead and then they rub it against the black concentrate so that the gold can be incorporated into the mercury. After that, they will squeeze off excess mercury, and then most of them would burn the amalgam that is produced in the open fire. So that means the mercury fumes will get into the vicinity, and anybody passing by can inhale it. So the mercury eventually will catch up on us.
So the full documentary will be airing on Thursday on the Super Morning Show.
Okay, and we are counting down to Friday, and I've been trying to practice my lyrics. My lyrical ability has been on, off the chain. We're still building up to this year's JoyFM open mic event at the Plus 233 Bar and Grill in Accra this Friday.
Today, we share with you a poem from one of our ardent listeners, including Kofi Anyidoho.
I'm the helpless fish, frying in your bowl of cooking oil. You lean against the kitchen wall, smiling with the thoughts of coming feast. But nature in time will call. You will render account squatting on your heels. Your hunger returns with new demands, and I will not be there to feed the needs of recurrent appetite. Like Kofi Anyidoho, The Last Dinner.
Life, oh life, oh life, oh life, do. You hear the sound the African drums make, the phantom from the etumpan, how they sound, bundu, kundu, that's how my stomach make. The nation is bleeding, the nation is bleeding, the nation is bleeding. But the sanitary pad is finished. Who buys some for us?
Yeah, you want to see MFR Power in action this Friday. Please don't miss it. It's at the Plus 233 Jazz Bar and Grill, and I'm going to be grilling, the lyrics like nobody's business. You know me.
And the Geeks Quarter up next with e-commerce in Ghana.
Yeah.
We're talking about that. And what is it about?
You know what e-commerce is? You know what it stands for? With us, anything E is electronic. Email, e-commerce,
so e-marketing.
E-marketing.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody.
Okay.
Don't give off too much. We're waiting to listen.
We'll wait till here. That's it for News Night. My name is Evan Spencer.
I am MFR Paul.
And we leave you with the sound of a mother who's almost despairing after the daughter has been kidnapped, just so that we remind authorities to do everything possible to help them find your daughters.
So we plead with everyone.